Hi guys, my name is Sochi and I lead the youth and children's ministry at Oakley with Wotton St. Lawrence in Basingstoke. It's an honor to spend the next few minutes with you and I cannot wait for us to unpack the word of the Lord together. I'm going to be sharing about what does it mean to carry God's love into every place we go. As young people, what does it mean to love in every space, to love in every environment, to love in our school, in our workplace, amongst our friends, in our homes, online even. What does it mean to carry God's love into everywhere we go? I don't know about you, but sometimes I do imagine of a world where everybody loves everybody, a world where everyone cares for everyone. Just imagine for a second your school is full of love. Imagine what that place and that space could look like. And this is what Jesus has called us to be, to do, to love one another, to love our neighbors. One of the stories that stands out for me in the Bible concerning love, but even more so concerning how to love one another, is the story of the Good Samaritan. In Luke 10:25, it says, on the occasion, an expert of the law stood up to test Jesus. Teacher, he asked, what must I do to inherit eternal life? What is written in the law, he replied. How do you read it? He answered, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. And Jesus answered, you have answered correctly. Jesus replied, do this and you would live. But he wanted to justify himself, so he asked Jesus, and who is my neighbor? And Jesus then started telling the story of the Samaritan. The story of the Samaritan teaches us that love is not just a feeling, it's an action. So as young people, how can we carry God's love in every place we go? The first thing is to love actively, not just in words. It's very easy to say to someone, I love you, I care for you, I'm going to look after you and all of that. Sometimes we end this being just empty words that we doesn't back up with our actions. But actually, Jesus has called us to act, to live out the words. The story of the Samaritan, you saw the people who walked past this man who has been wounded by robbers until the Samaritan decided to take action. It wasn't just about his words, it wasn't just about his feelings, but he decided to act it out. And that is what God has called us to be people who live out our love, people who live out his love amongst the people we care for, or even the people we don't know. He's called us to be the people of love. So my friends, the second point is to show love to everyone, regardless of our differences. The love that Jesus has for us crosses boundaries, and we are called to love the same. We are called to be the same, to be people of love, to love everybody, seeing past the boundaries and the differences that often the world has put around us that causes chaos and pain. So the final point, my friend, is that every encounter is an opportunity. At school, in our homes, in our workplace, amongst our friendship group, every person we'll meet, it's someone that Jesus wants us to love, because we are called to be people of love. He says, love your neighbor, love one another. I said, this command have I given you, and by doing this, everyone will know that you are my disciple. So Jesus sends us out to love. He calls us to be young people who love, not just in our words, but through our actions. Love doesn't fail, my friends, and because of that, we ought to and need to carry God's love in every way and every place we go to. So the first question, my friend, is when was the time you felt truly loved by someone, and how did that impact you? How can you show love to someone who is difficult to love? So the final question is, in what ways can you carry Jesus' love into your school, in your neighborhood this week?